So do you want to turn your volume up on your iPad?
It's not on my screen.
I think there's about a 10, 15, 20 second delay or something. So. All good? Has it found us yet?
Almost, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, do you want to just talk a bit?
So, yeah, well, yeah, you should be able to hear me talking from 10 seconds ago. Has it found us yet?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's fine. There you go. So we're kind of live. There's about a 10, 15 second delay. So when you are watching this, it happened. So you're watching the past kind of thing. This is our first YouTube live, joined today by Nathan. We've got 6 letters after you. DIP-PFS. What does DIP-PFS stand for?
Can you swear? People say.
Yeah, you can. Well, I suppose you can. It's not made for children. Yeah, they swear on YouTube all the time, don't they? So it's fine.
People say dipshit, but
Okay.
it's
Mr. Posh. Shit's not shown anymore, is it? Oh, we were watching a Christmas film earlier and they said bastard.
Yeah, it was the little girl that said it.
Yeah.
you had all the beeps in.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But no, it stands for Diploma in Personal Financial Planning
Okay.
or Services.
Cool. So Nathan, anyway, a few months ago? Was it about October? November, October,
Yeah, the end of September. Yeah.
End of September, invited to go and do an event at Mattioli Woods, where Nathan works. I've known Nathan for a few years now, actually, become friends.
Yeah.
And Nathan co-hosted. Well, we say co-hosted
You did it yourself.
because he kind of froze in front of the audience. So Nathan's going to come and join me on at least 3 or 4 of these lives before we do our next event at Mattioli Woods, which is in May, I believe, isn't it?
Yeah.
And really just to get used to talking to the camera, just talking to an audience. There's not much of an audience here. We've got Nick Hill behind the camera, and obviously we've got beautiful Jo, my wife, watching on YouTube. So if you do have any questions at all, please just type them in. Jo can then read the questions out. I'm not expecting a massive audience tonight, purely because this is our first YouTube live. Normally we do Instagram, which we tend to have a slightly larger audience. Thank you very much if you do watch, but please come and check out this YouTube video. This will be edited as well and dropped onto my Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and so forth. So anyways, back to Nathan. So Nathan is a financial planner, is that correct?
Yeah.
Your job title?
Yeah.
Trusted and top rated financial planner actually, and works at Mattioli Woods, and you've been there since 2012.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah, straight from college.
Okay then. So today obviously we're cooking, but we're also going to be talking a bit of finance. Because that's why Nathan's here, and we're going to get Nathan just talking. So, what does a financial planner do?
Yeah, I guess with my role, it's to go into a family and basically look at their finances, look at opportunities. So they may be wanting to save for their first house, they may be wanting to retire at a certain age, they may be selling a business, like pretty much anything related to finance or somebody wanting to achieve something.
Because I've always got this misconception, I think it is a misconception, that you need to have loads of money to have a financial planner. Is that correct?
No. So,
So, good, because I'm poor.
people think you need a lot of money, but if you've got the right strategy and you're saving the right amount every month,
Okay.
actually that can become quite a bit. Wealth to one person is 100 grand, to another person it could be 10 million. So everybody's perception.
What happens if wealth to me is 10,000?
But that's where an advisor would come in, and they would look at your position.
Okay.
They would highlight opportunities available to you,
Yeah.
and they will guide you in the right place. So there's so many different structures, whether it's personal bank accounts, savings accounts, pensions, etc. There's so many different types of them that are low cost, some for smaller pot values, some for larger pot values. So the advisor would then advise you into the right place to put your money. So yeah, it's about having the advice, knowing where you stand and having the peace of mind from that.
Okay.
So many people are fearful around money because you just never know what's going to happen. Is it enough? What happens if I spend a certain amount of money and then I've got nothing left? Or what happens if something pops out of the blue? So it's about having peace of mind as well. And I think from a financial perspective, if you understand your finances and you've got advice, it can actually help with mental health.
Okay.
So many people at the minute.
So I suppose it helps with stress levels.
Stress levels, yeah, exactly. So, in a way, my job's not a counsellor, but you're listening to people, you're listening to their concerns, the things that they don't understand. So when they get their pension statement through and they've got no idea what it means, or they've got like a targeted retirement pot, what does that mean to that person?
Okay.
So it's the peace of mind of knowing what that actually means to them.
So anybody on a normal salary, as long as they can allocate a small amount of that into a savings pot, or they're able to put some of it away, because I can imagine that. Well, I know there are people nowadays that are living literally hand to mouth.
Yeah.
So they go to work, they earn the money. By the end of the month, they're lucky if they've covered their bills. They might not even cover their bills. So obviously, we are talking about people that have got a little bit, not lots, but maybe a little bit left over that they can put in a pot somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's things like cashback. There's so many different cashback apps, like so many different websites that you can go on, where you literally just go through their website to, like, for example, I bought a TV Black Friday. I bought a TV. I went through one of the cashback apps, and I've ended up with £250-ish back cashback, which is amazing, just because I went through that link. When I moved into the house, we used a cashback app. I think it was Uswitch we used, but because we went through them, we got a £70 voucher from Sky.
Okay.
But it's different things like that where you don't always need cash to put aside. You can just, if you're already buying stuff, just do it through a different app.
Right.
You do it through a website, like a cashback.
That's really good advice, actually. We sat here earlier, because Nathan's been here since about 6 o'clock,
Yeah.
and we were talking about the Too Good To Go app.
Yeah.
Which is, I've never heard of it. Well, I think I've heard of it, because I think my daughter uses it, but we've just downloaded the app. It's amazing.
Me and Anna, my fiance, we went to Aldi last night. I think it was £3.30. We got a massive box of like vegetables, chicken, like I can't remember, like bagels, all sorts. For £3. Anna's gone home, made soups, bottled them up, put them in the fridge. Yeah,
so it's amazing. So anyways, and
you can save. Yeah,
save loads of money. So the first thing I saw was Greg's. So
Greg's,
the Greg's goodie bag for about £2.59 or something. So I think we might be hitting that before I start my diet again. We can carry on, obviously. I just want to talk about some of the things. So I'm going to get Nikhil to move the camera a little bit. I've done all the prep tonight. Obviously, this is food and finance. We are going to be cooking we're actually going to do 4 dishes. We're going to get the rice on in a second, and then we're going to cook some other dishes. So we've got boiled rice, which we've done. If you watch the Instagram videos, obviously we can go through that again and see how that's done. We've got some noodles, which noodles are there, obviously draining. But we've got king prawn noodles, which we're going to use in a sriracha sauce. I've got some chicken thigh chopped up, and that's going to be in a hoisin sauce. And the last dish, we're going to do a chicken and mushroom yuk sung, and then the 4 of us are going to sit and eat after this video. So as Nathan's talking, I'm going to be in the background doing a bit of cooking. Any questions again, guys, please do ask, and then Joe can ask them through to me. So we've talked about financial planning.
Yeah.
I don't know, have we just covered it all? Have you just covered it all, kind of? So while Nathan's talking, I'm going to carry on anyway.
Yeah.
Go on.
I guess like December now, how many of us are going out and buying Christmas presents, decorating the house, buying a Christmas tree? If you've got log burners, buying the logs for winter. But it's all about...
Your wife doesn't actually do that though, does she?
No.
My wife.
Anna goes out and collects wood that she can find around the house to save on money, but it doesn't matter what you earn. There's all these little things that you can do to save money, which is good. But if you think of January, February time, you're not thinking about saving for Christmas. Whereas if you had saved £20 or £50 a month from January, December comes and you've got all your money for your Christmas presents, your decorations, but you often think, oh, what's the point? It's, we've just had Christmas, I'll wait and I'll probably buy a new pair of trainers, or we'll spend the money on something else. But just saving little bits can be massive. Like, it saves you so much money in the long run. And I think, if you think of January, February time, you're not thinking about saving for Christmas. Whereas if you had saved £20 or £50 a month from January, December comes and you've got all your money for your Christmas presents, your decorations, but you often think, oh, what's the point? It's, we've just had Christmas, I'll wait and I'll probably buy a new pair of trainers, or we'll spend the money on something else. But just saving little bits can be massive. Like, it saves you so much money in the long run. And it's the same with like retirement planning. So many people, when it comes to their pensions, they think, oh, what's the point? Like, I'm not retiring for like 20 years, 30 years. What's the point of putting money in now? But if you put small amounts in every month,
Yeah.
it builds up to a massive pot. I was working with a client earlier and we did an illustration. And obviously you need advice to find out exactly for your circumstances. But he's putting 5% of his salary into his pension every year, which is pretty much a standard amount that you put into your pension now. We worked out for him, if he doubled that to 10%, even though it was about £183 a month, after tax, because you'd save on tax on it, worked out about £80 difference to him. So he's getting more in his pension, and it's not really costing him that much.
Because the tax is lower.
Because of tax. And we worked out his retirement pot in the future based on that. I think it was 21 years or something like that, the time frame. But he'd end up with an additional 100 grand in his pension pot.
Right.
So for an extra like £80 to him, it's about 100 grand to him more in the future, just by putting little bits in. But obviously you have to take advice and make sure it suits your circumstances.
Yeah, no, obviously your own financial pocket, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I mean, like, obviously Nikhil behind camera here, he's still a young lad. How old are you now, Nikhil?
24.
24, and you're still living at home,
Yes.
but you'd like to buy your own house.
One day.
Yeah.
So, best way around it then. So I mean, obviously starting when I take it you've not got a pot to piss in
No, no.
at the moment, so you've got no savings whatsoever.
Don't know what that is.
So yeah, so and again, so you know, so I mean, what's the realistically then? Obviously depending on how much Nikhil can put away, and then the timeline to actually going to buying his first property. How do people nowadays get onto that financial ladder, or onto the ladder of actually buying, getting a mortgage?
Yeah. Well, I did it. So there's no. I used a lifetime ISA.
Okay.
A lot of people have not heard of lifetime ISAs, but if you Google Martin Lewis Money Supermarket, so much information on there to work out if it's right for you or not.
Right.
But you can put £4,000 in a year, and the government will give you 25%. So the government will give you £1,000 for free.
So you put four in.
You put four in, and you get five.
And that's a year.
That's a year.
And do they do that yearly? Do they give you £1,000 each year?
Yeah. So what it will, depending on what you put in. So if you put 1,000 in, you get £250.
Okay.
But it's just money that is free that can boost you a little bit further to buying the house sooner. So for someone buying the first house, that's what I did, and then it can go towards your deposit.
What's the standard deposits these days? Is it 5%, 10%, 20%?
Well, I think I don't specialise in mortgage advice, but I know that some of the banks recently have done like 100% mortgage.
Okay.
So there's so many people that are in rented accommodation, they don't have the money anymore to put towards building a pot to buy for the house, because they're paying for their bills, they're paying their rent. How are you supposed to find the additional cash to then save for your own house? So certain banks are doing this 100% mortgage. So if you can prove that you've paid your mortgage on time, you've paid your bills, there is the potential that you can get 100% mortgage. For someone that's living at home and they're saving, obviously they don't meet that criteria. So there are like the 5% deposit you need to put down, or 10% if you can. But yeah, speak to seek advice. Like, speak to a mortgage advisor. Find out what you can borrow, find out how much you need to save. I always find that if you've got a goal, if you know how much you need to save, that then gives you a realistic idea of how long it's going to take to save it.
Right.
Which then makes you a bit more disciplined, doesn't it? Because if you know that I want to buy a house in 4 years' time, and I need that deposit, I need to save this amount every month. So then you're a little bit more careful. Then you start using the too good to go app. You start doing them different things to save you the money.
I think it's like amazing realisation. You've got £250 back on a TV that you bought anyway.
Yeah.
So if people can go and find these little apps and deals and and bits and bobs. But, you know, you can actually start putting quite a nice nest egg together.
Yeah.
You know, especially this time of year, some people are out there, and we do overbuy at Christmas, and we, you know, we're spending money that potentially we haven't got. But
Yeah.
It's nice to get something back, isn't it? So,
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
is there a particular app that we look for, or how do you find out about these apps that you can get maybe cash back on?
Yes, I think there's a few. There's I think there's one called Quidco, which I've used. I don't really rate it, to be honest, because you don't get the cash back straight away.
Okay.
One of my mates is using, I think it's Top Cashback or something like that. But if you go online, Martin Lewis, if you go on his website, you can search different topics. So you can go on cashback apps, you can go on car insurance, you can
Martin
go on house
Lewis is
insurance.
Money
Money saving
supermarket.
expert.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he does all the research. You just have to read about it.
Okay.
But the thing that I find frustrating at the minute, there's so many people that are on TikTok or they're on Instagram talking about what you need to do to save money, where to invest your money. A lot of it is like you listen to it and it's just completely wrong.
Right. I think yeah.
They're not
I've seen a few
qualified.
videos.
They're not qualified people, and they're providing advice, but using resources like Martin Lewis. Looking on his website, you've got an actual valid source.
Yeah.
And if you're not sure on anything, speak with a mortgage advisor. A lot of mortgage advisors will have a meeting with you at no cost, just to give you an idea of where you need to be.
Okay.
Financial advisors, reach out, just get a second opinion. But yeah, you can save a lot of money by doing things like that. So I was speaking with university students at Du Montfort, and one of the students said that they've got a part-time job and they're earning a decent amount of money, so they're going out to buy a Mercedes A-Class. And I said, how much is that going to cost you? And they said, about £250 a month. And I said, okay, what about your insurance? Well, that's about 100-ish.
What about your fuel?
Your fuel, your petrol, your tax. What about if you need your tyres changing?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can afford it because I've got this surplus money, so I'm alright. And I said, are you looking to buy a house? Oh yeah, but not yet. Probably in like 3 or 4 years' time.
When you're still paying your car off.
And I said, well, how much is the house going to cost? I don't know, probably about 250,000. So if you need a 10% deposit, you need 25 grand. So you divide 25, and you work that out over 3 years. How much do you need to save a year?
Yeah.
How much is that a month? Can you afford the car? Oh no, I can't afford the car. I probably should save for a house. But it's stuff like that. It's just having. It might be buying a new house. It might be buying something that you've wanted for a while. But if you've got an idea of the cost of it and when you want it, you can then break it down, and then you can save for it over time.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I was one of those silly young people that went out and I thought, well, I'd have a nice car rather
I did it.
than a house and stuff. And it came along and bit me in the backside, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
We go back to the 90s, where I could have bought a house for about £20,000, and then all of a sudden there was this property boom, and next thing you know, you're trying to buy a house and you're looking at 120, 140, 150,000 pounds, and it's mental that we just had this massive boom.
Yeah.
Whereas I was in that position because I was working, but instead I went and bought a car. Mental,
Yeah.
really, really crazy. But yeah, I suppose you live and learn, don't you? So
I think, like with clients, I tell clients all the time you have to live as well. But I did the same as you when I was young. I went out and bought a nice car on finance, paid it monthly. It was like £240 a month, then your insurance. And my mum said to me, you know, if you do, it might not seem a lot, £240 a month plus your
No.
insurance and that, but when it's coming out every single month, it's actually quite a bit.
I did it.
When I sold it, I was like, oh, I've got all this money.
I got into the wrong crowd. In fact, I was a bit older actually, and I went out and bought a Mercedes E320.
Yeah.
I was only about a year old. I paid nearly £30,000 for it or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's when £30,000 was a lot of money, and it's a lot of money now, but it was like a lot of money back then. I was paying nearly £600 a month just on finance. And I couldn't afford it, but in my head, I needed it to prove to people that I'd made it.
Yeah.
And there was it was just a horrible circle. It's this group of people that I was hanging out with. And because they all had nice watches and fancy cars, and the meet at the Belfry in Birmingham, which is this big posh golf club, where you get, you have to go for a cup of tea, it's 25 quid for the two of you. I couldn't afford to do it, but I was doing it because I wanted to keep up this pretense. And it's a horrible, horrible thing to fall into.
I think you've got to know your boundaries. And, don't be afraid of saying to someone like, "I'll buy a house in a couple of years' time." So I'm being a little bit careful with the money. So I'm going to go for this, or I'll come out. I won't come out for the meal. Well, no, you go out for the meal, but I'm just going to have a drink or something. But don't limit yourself. Make sure you enjoy life, because you never know what's going to happen around the corner. So you have to live a little bit, but also be mindful of what you're saying for as well.
Go try it.
Go try it.
You happy with that? Happy with the seasoning? Yeah?
Perfect.
Okay, so while you was waffling on, talking money, that's chicken and mushroom yuk sung done. Fried off my onions and my spring onions. Normally I would put some garlic through this. I haven't put garlic through it today because of Joe, but I have used a little bit of garlic oil. I then added the chicken. The chicken was diced. We're using chicken thigh because I think it's nicer, it's a bit juicier. You could use chicken breast, you could use king prawns, shrimps. You could keep it vegetarian, it's completely up to you. Then went in the carrots, the bamboo shoots, the water chestnuts, and it was seasoned with a little bit of salt, a little bit of light soy sauce, some oyster sauce, a little bit of white pepper. Again, you would normally put rice wine in this, but again, we can't use that because there's wheat in it, and Joe's celiac, so there's no rice wine in it. No thickening. I think it's going to be absolutely fine. This is done. We probably will have to ding this before we eat because it's cooked already, but it wouldn't be much of a finance and food if I wasn't cooking, would it? So that's the chicken and mushroom yuk sung cooked. Now we're going to serve this with cashew nuts on the top, which is going to add a creamy crunch to the dish, and they're going to be served, and we're going to wrap them in ice cold lettuce leaves, so it's like a lettuce burrito as we eat. Right then, so that's the first dish done. I'm going to put some cashew nuts. Joe, can I just hand you that and just give it a quick wash, please, darling? Thank you. Yeah, just because I've got 2 more dishes to cook. Thank you. So there's the lettuce leaves, which I've got ready already. And we're just going to finish it off with a few cashew nuts just over the top, just to offer that crunch. You could obviously hold back some of your spring onion if you're cooking it at home and have fresh spring onion on it as well if you wanted to, but I don't think it's needed, to be honest. Rice is on, and if you didn't watch that, guys, or did, I washed it a couple of times just to get rid of the starch. Put enough water in there so the water came up roughly to my first nook, which is about 1 inch above the rice, and it's in the rice cooker. If you don't have a rice cooker, guys, these are a godsend. We eat rice all the time, and it just means that when we cook our rice, we can click it on and forget about it. Right then, noodles or hoisin next?
Hoisin.
Okay, you're cooking it. Let's see if you can talk.
Talk and cook.
Talk and cook at the same time. So once the wok's hot, I'll pass your stuff as you need it, okay?
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
I did just see a question pop up.
Okay.
From Maya. It says, do you have a favourite wok?
Yes. So, from Maya or Maya? M-A-Y-A.
M-A-Y-A.
Okay, my daughter's Maya, M-A-Y-A. His
Our
dog,
dog's called
Maya, M-A-Y-A. My favourite wok now, and this was gifted, I was very, very lucky. I was invited to go to the BBC Good Food Show this year, and the stage was sponsored by Hexclad, and they gave me a lovely set of Hexclad pans, and the wok being one of those, and this is my Hexclad pan. As you can see, guys, it's starting to get a bit of seasoning now. So the more you use these woks, they become seasoned. See, whereas this is completely non-stick, there's no seasoning on there. This is, I don't even know what the coating is, but the more you use it, this patina builds on the wok. And yeah, so that's why Nathan's not using my wok, he's using it.
I can't cook.
So that's getting hot, so I want you to add a little bit of garlic oil, please. That's the garlic oil, about 2 tablespoons.
Tell me if I get a bit carried.
It's alright, just try not to splash that
Like
lovely
that?
rugby top. Yes, fine.
Yeah.
And then we just need to add just the onions.
Do you want me to?
You can do.
But it's like this, you know, like with advice and stuff like that. Onions, yeah.
Just the onions, yeah.
Yeah. It's like with advice and finances and stuff like that. I'm no good at cooking, but if I've got somebody helping me, like if Anna's cooking with me in the kitchen and is showing me what to do, telling me what I need to do next, it becomes actually quite easy.
Yeah.
And I enjoy it.
So we're going to fry that until it goes to a roughly translucent.
Okay.
So they start to change colour ever so slightly, become a little bit opaque.
Yeah.
And again, and as they get heat up, they start to fall apart because obviously they're clumped together at the moment.
Yeah.
All right. So plans for Christmas. We've talked finance. Let's talk a bit about Christmas. Since we are only 24 days away.
Yeah.
Flipping it. 24 days to Christmas. Hope you're ready because we're not. We've dressed ours.
The house looks good.
Not bought a damn thing. So Christmas. What are you up to?
With Anna's from Poland, so the last few Christmases we've been in Poland, whereas this year it's going to be Anna's first Christmas in the UK. So we're going to be at home. Grandad's going to come round, and my mum, and we're just going to have a Christmas at home.
Is this the first Christmas in your new house?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So you've got your mum
and Grandad coming over.
Just the four of you.
Just the four. So my sister's got cats, and obviously we've just bought a puppy, but we can't leave the puppy on its own all day, and they don't want to leave their cats alone either. So yeah, we'll probably spend Boxing Day with family, but Christmas Day we're gonna
Nice.
Yeah, be at home. What about you?
And who's cooking?
Well, Anna's never cooked a Christmas dinner before, so my mum and Anna will be cooking Christmas dinner.
Cool.
So,
right, do you want to add the spring onions in now, please?
Yeah.
If you like your spring onions a bit more crunchy and fresh, leave them out and put them in at the very end. I like my spring onions cooked, that's why they're going in now. And as soon as they become fragrant, we're going to add the chicken, okay? And you'll smell the spring onion in a second as it's frying, okay? We're actually going to London. So my brother's normally in Panto every year. I don't think he did Panto last year, but he was busy anyway. No, he came here actually. This was our first Christmas here in what used to be the old restaurant. So obviously Joe and I have been renovating this house very slowly. So actually everybody came here for Christmas, which was really nice. My brother brought his dog Dolly, and she walked in the door, lifted her back legs and wiped her arse all over my new carpet. I was so happy about that. Flipping heck. I was just yeah. And then she jumped up at the wall and scratched my wall with her claws.
Then on the sofa.
It's only just been decorated. We've only just completed the living room. Right, in goes chicken. Now there's a lot of chicken because I thought we might as well use it all. So we're going to cook this until it goes white and opaque. Okay. So give it a good mix. Once you get the chicken on the bottom, just leave it there to cook. Okay. So, anyways, we drive down to London on the 24th, which is Christmas Eve. And we're staying with my brother for 2 nights. So yeah, we've just been looking for Christmas concerts and stuff actually, haven't we? So we're looking
what sort of concerts are they?
Well, Christmas concerts, like Christmas carols and stuff like that. So we're just seeing if there's anything we can take my parents to. Mum's not very mobile at the moment. Hopefully she's watching. I'm not sure. So the nice thing about being on YouTube, actually, my mum and dad can sit in their front room and have it on the TV.
Yeah.
So it'd be nice if my mum's watching, but I'll give her a call afterwards and see if she managed to get the TV to work. Because, what's that? A pension question. There you go, one for you.
So, yes, you should start now. Obviously working out the amount that you need to put in. You don't want to put too much in your pension because... Yeah, leave it. You don't... Should I put that on the side? Leave it there. I'm not very experienced with cooking.
So it's just stirring at the moment, it's not cooking. So.
Yeah, with the pension, you can't access it until the new rules are 57. So you obviously don't want to put too much in your pension where if you need some money back and you locked it away, you can't get it back until 57. But putting smaller amounts in, again, understanding how much you need for retirement, understanding if you've got any other objectives, so whether that's buying a house, if you've got other bills, that will determine how much you can put in your pension. But yeah, definitely start as soon as possible. often refer to it as like a snowball. So if you think of a snowball, a tiny little snowball at the top of the hill, and you roll it down, at the bottom it's going to get bigger, but obviously it's not going to be massive. If you start off with a massive snowball at the top, and you roll that down the hill, it's going to be huge when it gets to the bottom. It's the same with like savings, with your pensions. The more you can put in when you're younger,
Do a quick there. Just move it around and leave it there.
the more it could be worth in the future. A lot of people don't realise that in your pension, that is just the wrapper. That's just the name of a certain wrapper. It's almost like your bank account. You can have so many different bank accounts. They're all offering different rates of interest. Some allow you to take money out, some don't. There's all different rules. It's the same with a pension. So within a pension you have an investment, and you need to make sure that investment is performing well. You don't want it too high risk, and you're all in, like you're gambling on one thing. So you might put it into one company. If that company goes bush, you've lost all your money. So again, you want advice to make sure what you're invested in is the right fund.
And you say once you put money into the pension, you can't access it until you're 57.
57, that's it. Unless you have like a terminal illness or something like that, you can apply. Might not get approved, but there are circumstances you could get it before. But yeah, with your pension, a lot of group pensions. So if you're employed and you go into your workplace pension, they already have funds, pre-made funds that are managed. But again, you've got low risk, you've got high risk, different areas. So some clients have ethical views, so they don't want to invest into tobacco, they don't want to invest into a lot of different areas. So you can actually have investments which screen those out, so you make sure you're not investing into them. But yeah, there's a lot of different options, but again, that's where advice can make sure you're putting the right amount in your pension, you're putting the right amount in, and you know what the value could be in the future. So yeah, definitely start early, but yeah, make sure you're not putting too much away where you're going to be kind of skimmed. Yeah. Hopefully that answers the question.
Cool. Any other questions? That's it. So where were we? Christmas carols and Christmas concerts.
Yeah.
I believe my brother's cooking Christmas Day, which would be nice, because it tends to be me cooking most, or Joe actually. You cooked last year's, didn't you? So yeah, it tends to be one of us anyway cooking. So it'd be nice that my brother's cooking this year, but I'm sure we'll get left with the washing up that needs, which is sometimes. Oh, you washed up as well. So yeah, so Joe's not doing sod all this year. So. And then Boxing Day would obviously just chill in the morning and then head back Boxing Day night.
Yeah.
And then it's my daughter's 17th birthday on the 27th.
Nice.
So hopefully we're going to have a bit of breakfast with my daughter. And so yeah, so that's kind of what our Christmas done. And then we're going to be in and out of the office because we've got a busy start of 2024. So we're going to have to do some work over Christmas, unfortunately, but that's just how it is, isn't it? So.
What you got planned?
What, for next year?
Yeah.
Beginning of the year, we've got an event with Raymond James, and then we've got a cook-along with Hastings Direct. Then we've got the the Motorhome and Caravan show at the NEC. What else have we got in? Sorry? Oh yeah, then we obviously May we've got the big retreat festival where I'm hosting and presenting the stage over 4 days.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a few bits in really.
All lined up.
And then obviously we've we're just obviously just working on new business and everything else. So yeah, just normal really. So how's that looking?
Yeah,
so we're nearly there.
Yeah.
That's right. We're a long way from having it cooked yet anyway. So at this stage then we can put the carrots in. Hold back the bamboo shoots because it's still quite wet and I want to try and cook out some of that liquid. So, and again, obviously, the more you cook, guys, obviously the more liquid it's going to let you know. So sometimes the recipes say it's going to be 8 minutes of cooking. If you're doing the exact quantities, where it's a chicken breast been diced, nice and diced, and it was exact half an onion and whatever. Yes, it does cook quicker. Obviously, the more you put in your wok, what happens is we lose the heat. More water obviously comes out of the veggies and the meat, and sometimes you need to just cook it out a little bit because obviously you still want that stir fry taste.
Any questions
As a rule, Maya, we tend to go for traditional British. I'm 50-50. I'm 50% English, 50% Chinese kind of thing. So, and we try and uphold that. When my dad was a bit younger and a bit more agile, New Year's was where we did the Cantonese food. So New Year's Eve, Dad would do the scallops with ginger and spring onion. He would do the lobster with glass noodles. He would do the whole fish, sea bass. And we would have this amazing Cantonese feast. But Dad's 80 years old next year, actually, so he tends not to cook that much anymore. So, and I have yet to pick up that mantle, because there's a lot of work when you're cooking that type of food for the amount of people that we have. It's not easy, and it's really it's not too bad if you had like a Chinese kitchen, or like a really heavy, strong heat for it. But you can see like we're literally cooking enough chicken for 4 people here, maybe a bit more. And look how long it's taking ages. Whereas with that heat from a Chinese kitchen, you can cook a lot quicker and you can cook en masse. But yeah, so Cantonese food was always reserved for New Year's Eve anyway. So right then, seasonings.
Yeah.
We can put some of the dried chilli in. So that far left one over there. Now as hot as you like it. So this is well, no. This is all about this is your intuition now.
Experimenting.
Yeah. So.
Right. Okay. Next.
See, Joe's giving him tips.
Is that enough?
I'd probably say 2 or 3 times that amount. But I like it a bit spicy. This is a spicy hoisin chicken we're cooking. Yeah. Lovely.
Like that.
Cool. So just sprinkle that in. That was so slow. We would have been here until next week if we carried on doing that.
A little bit of time.
Okay, let's do the soy sauce first. So put roughly about, what do you reckon, 2 tablespoons, maybe a tablespoon and a half of light soy sauce.
This one?
The soy sauce. That's the one.
Can tell I don't cook. Yeah. 2 teaspoons.
So roughly 2 tablespoons. So maybe a tablespoon and a half. Yeah, just put it into there. Instinctual cooking is really important, because obviously we're not cooking with. Obviously we've got a rough idea what goes into this dish, but obviously the quantities have changed, so therefore we're going to have to season it accordingly. Now, oyster sauce, I'd say you want about 2, maybe 3 tablespoons of oyster sauce, which is that one.
Where do you buy a lot of the ingredients from?
So a lot of the big supermarkets nowadays, you can get a lot of the Chinese, so you get oyster sauce, soy sauce, hoisin sauce even. I tend to use the Chinese supermarkets here in Leicester.
Yeah.
Because obviously they also do a really good gluten-free range. So the oyster sauce that you use is gluten-free, and the hoisin sauce that we're going to use in a second is also gluten-free. So keep going. More. Yeah, about that.
Smells good.
If you just let me get in there, give that a mix in. Actually, you can put the bamboo shoots in there if you want as well. Right, 4 heat tablespoons of the hoisin sauce, please. Yeah. Thank you very much. 4, please. In fact, and go again, because you're quite stingy with your heat. See, this is exactly why I didn't let him use my hex clad, because he's just banged metal against the side of the wok. And it's a non-stick wok, so it's just going to take the layering off, isn't it? Yeah, just pop it in there. Yeah. Okay, give it a really good mix. I'll be a bit more rough than that, and barely touching it.
Like this?
Yeah. Turn the heat down ever so slightly. Make sure that everything's coated in that sauce and mixture now. Give it a good mix. Don't worry.
Right, yeah.
I always splash as well.
And there's going to be expecting me to be cooking from now on.
Yeah, definitely. Let's give our spoons a rinse and we can try this for seasoning then.
I won't try and do.
Looking good. Are you happy with that?
Yeah, that's good.
There's your spoon. You try it first as you cooked it.
Yeah, tastes good.
Yeah. It's spicy enough.
Not too spicy. Probably need to put a bit more in.
Yeah.
Do you want more chili? Is this the spice?
No, this is the hoisin. This is the hoisin chicken, and I barely getting any hoisin in there at all.
Yeah. So that's 6. 7.
Well, you know, you can always add. You can't take away, can you? So,
Yeah.
so it's absolutely fine, actually. So. Yeah, not bad. Right then, that's that one done. Well done.
What that I'm not touching.
So that one's done. Okay, last one, noodles. Shall I cook this one?
Yeah.
Right then, keep the conversation going then. What else we're talking about?
I guess because I don't understand.
Yeah.
And never be afraid. Like when it comes to finances, so many people are afraid to ask questions. Like, what about if I should know that? They don't want to look silly, but financial world is so complex. There's so much jargon. There's so many different things, even with the pension. So the recent budget, there was 103 mentions of like pensions, state pensions, private pensions. It is. So ask questions if you're not sure on something, and don't rush. Don't feel like you've got to do everything in one go. Take your time, like you just said now. Like we're doing one thing at a time.
Yeah.
You don't want to get something wrong, so don't go all in, and then you can't go back.
No.
Take your time. Never feel rushed, and be aware of scams. There's so many different scams out there when it comes to pensions and investments. If you ever hear about guaranteed returns or there's a deadline for a certain investment, be really wary of it. Because even now, I've got clients that are really savvy that send me a sort of email or a brochure that they've received, and they said, this looks really good, should we consider it? And we've looked into it, and it's just scam.
Really?
There's so much of it, so yeah, like be careful.
So how do people sort of like protect themselves from these scammers then?
Always check, so you want to be working with regulated advisors.
Right, okay.
So the Financial Conduct Authority has got a website. If you're speaking with an advisor or anything like that, you can go onto the Conduct Authority website and search the advisor or the firm. That will highlight if there's any issues with that firm and to make sure they're regulated. If you're not dealing with somebody that's regulated, if something goes wrong, they're not regulated, so it's a lot harder for you to fight a case.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, make sure that you're not falling into scams.
Yeah, it's always dodgy, isn't it? I mean, like, so many scam artists out there now. So with this, guys, I just added a little bit of sugar. We should have added a bit of sugar when Nathan was cooking it, and I completely forgot. And when I was tasting it, I was thinking, oh, there's something missing. So that should be now, with the sugar that I've added, just sweeten it up a little bit. Which is more the hoisin that you would normally think about. So now I'm going to be trying to be, well, I'm going to have to do this in 2 batches, I think. So I think if I try and get all this noodle in, I'm not going to be able to mix it. So at the moment, I've just fried off some red pointed peppers with a little bit of napa cabbage and some king prawns. There's no seasoning in there at all at the moment. I'm going to put the bean sprouts in towards the end because you want the bean sprouts to be a little bit crunchy. Now this isn't a chow mein, guys, this is a lo mein, so it's going to be saucy. Now I'm going to have to play. So in here I've literally got soy sauce and sriracha, and that is it. And this is going to be the base of my sauce for this lo mein. In fact, I think there's a little bit of sugar in here as well, if I remember rightly. heat down a little bit so I can smell a little bit of burning. A little bit of burning's fine, guys, because it is that caramelisation we talk about all the time. But you don't want the whole dish being burnt.
With clients as well, like it's not a bad thing to spend money on health as well. So you know, when it comes to different health assessments, if you feel something's wrong, then speak up. So like with clients, again, we're dealing with money, we're talking about finances, the importance of managing it properly and so on, but it's worth nothing if you're not here. So a lot of clients I've come across in my time as an advisor, they've had underlying health conditions that they wasn't aware of, like hidden conditions. So if you feel something's not right, never be afraid to pay for tests or anything like that. So if the NHS and you're struggling to get an appointment and you are really worried because your health is a priority, and make sure that you enjoy yourself. So actually put aside a pot. So yes, you're saving for a house, yes, you might be saving for retirement, but if you've got a pot of money which you know you can enjoy, you'll feel a lot more comfortable spending and enjoying that money.
You've got to live life as well.
You've got to live life, yeah. Whereas a lot of people, you may have different pots for different things about saving, but you don't actually have the pot for you to enjoy it. But if you know every month you've got £50 or £100 to yourself, you know it's not going to ruin your plans of buying a house. You're not going to set yourself back because that's your money to enjoy.
Yeah.
So that's important as well.
Very nice. Good advice, Mr. Nathan. Well, what time is it? So 45 minutes in the kitchen. I think the last time we did this, we had Jojo here, yeah, another foodie. Nathan will be joining me at least next year as well, won't it? So maybe in January, February, and probably March as well. And also as well, I'm going to be talking to other business individuals in the Leicestershire area. I believe Eileen Richards from ER Recruitment, she wants to come along board. And also as well, if you've probably seen on LinkedIn, we've just started working with a lovely guy called Sanjib. So I'm going to try and get Sanjib into the studio, do some cooking as well. And we can talk about lots and lots of different things. Obviously, it won't always be finance related, it won't always be corporate related. We will get some other foodies in here as well. We have lots of friends that we work with that have got their own cookbooks, their own TV shows and whatever else. And again, it's just trying to find time to bring them into Leicester. Oh my God. Sorry. And so I didn't cough over the noodles because more people are eating it. So. I don't know what that was. I'm just going to have a drink for a second. So yeah, so we will be inviting other friends to come and join us in Leicester and do some of these cook-alongs as well. And each time we'll be cooking things differently. So at the moment we have concentrated on Cantonese and Chinese takeaway food. Obviously the repertoire of cooking that we do in this house exceeds Chinese food. Okay, if you notice that we're doing stews and we're doing hot pots and we're doing briskets and whatever else. So we will start to cook some other things for you guys as well on these YouTube lives. So anything else you want to add before we sign off?
No, just speak up, take advice, don't be afraid of speaking to a professional. We're here to help. At least if you know you're on the right track, even if you don't need to work with an advisor, at least you've got the peace of mind. And yeah, don't be afraid of speaking up, don't be afraid of asking questions. Nothing's a silly question, and hopefully that can help you save for what you need to save for, and it can improve mental health. You know where you stand. So
brilliant.
Yeah,
good advice. As always, you've been thoroughly amazing tonight. Thanks for coming in. Shame Anna couldn't make it, so hopefully Anna can join us next time.
Yeah, definitely.
The lovely Anna is Nathan's partner. And then I think Nikhil's going to join me on this side of the camera one day as well, aren't you?
I'll do the film.
One day. And I think, we're going to get Joe. Joe's going to come this side of the camera. So we've talked about this quite a lot, haven't we? So there's a little Instagram page called Spellcaster's Kitchen. and basically it's cooking food, but being mindful as you're cooking. It's not about well, it is a little bit about witchcraft and stuff, but it's about sort of like feel good and putting energies into the food that we're eating. So we will do a couple of Spellcaster kitchens on these YouTube lives as well, and we'll have in fact we're going to do a whole new series of Spellcaster's Kitchen with Joe and I, which will be on the YouTube channel. And it's again, it's just basically our love of food and about putting positive energies into everyday things. Okay, right, anything else?
No, thank you.
Thank you again, guys. Sorry about the one camera. Nicola and I were here for 3 hours yesterday trying to work this switcher unit that we bought to have 2 cameras, and we can flip from camera 1 to camera 2. It did not work, so we've resorted to an iPhone on a tripod with Nikhil pointing it at us or at the food. So there you go, that's how technical we are. But hopefully it worked. Thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for joining us. Thank you again, Nathan, for joining us. We're going to go and enjoy our food now. Have a fantastic weekend. If you are in the Leicester area on Sunday, 10:30, Loughborough, I'm going to be on stage with the Rainbows Hospice, which I'm patron for, and I'm going to be starting their Santa run. So if you are about in Leicestershire, in Loughborough, 10:30 in the town centre, I believe, come and watch the Santa run. It's going to be a really good day. Thanks again, guys. All right, bye-bye.
Bye.